I got this mascara thinking like it's just pink on the outside and it's black inside. Turns out it's pink inside. Right. So, um, the story starts when I remember I was 12 years old and I was living with my grandma, and my grandma had just decided to start gathering us up. I hadn't been saved at the time. I was 12 years old. I was in seventh grade, and she'd have us gather together for prayer, right? And I think we were having financial troubles, but like we always had food to eat, and you know. So she has rooms that she rents out, and that's like her main source of income. She also gets like a grant, an elderly person's grant. And at that time, I think she didn't have any people in the rooms, and had to start praying, right? And I remember for weeks we'd gather and we'd start praying. We'd like pray the rosary. She's Catholic. My family's Catholic. I'm not anymore. And um, yeah, we were just praying for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I remember we still didn't have any tenants until, in a short space of time, all the rooms were filled. They're like 5 rooms, and I was like, wow, I that's like my one of my remembrances of like God answering prayers, and I was like, wow, God really answers prayers. And my grandma, she's not like, she doesn't read the Bible or go to church, but it just showed me that God answers prayers if you just ask. I got saved in 2023, right? I got saved in 2023. That's another story for another day, like my salvation and whatnot. But that's when I started having a personal relationship with God. Gosh, this looks terrible. That's when I started having a personal relationship with God. That was in 2023. I was in 11th grade. It was following a suicide attempt, and I encountered the Lord. And I remember from there, I wanted a God version of everything. I wanted a God version of a career. I wanted a God version of friends. I wanted a God version of relationship as well. I was 16 at that time. I prayed to the Lord and I set up a password with the Lord that the guy that was meant for me, the guy I was going to marry, the one God had set aside for me, the password that he was going to say to me, and that's how I'd know that, okay, this guy is the one from God. I'm obviously not going to tell you the password. um, but that's what I did. It was a phrase. It's actually like a commonly used phrase. Ever since I set up the password, I've never heard anyone say a phrase, or maybe I have. So last night I had a dream, and I was with this boy. I didn't recognize him, but in the dream I didn't seem to be attracted to him. It was just like we were just friends. And I think we were like experimenting with science because my degree is in biomedicine, lab work and stuff. And then he says the password. And I'm like, excuse me? Then he says it again. Like he thinks nothing of it. Like I said, it's like a regular phrase. And then I woke up and I was like, wow, and I was like, started thinking of like, what would I do if that happened? If I had a friend and then he said the phrase, I was confirmation enough, and he seemed like my type. He was intelligent, he was man of God, but then like it's like, now what? Then I started grappling with it. I was like, oh, I do desire to have a relationship, a marriage, but I wasn't 19, so I courtship, maybe I don't want to get married young, like not now, probably like when I finish my degree or something, my first degree. So I've been thinking about it and I've been praying about it. I remember the desire was just so heavy on my heart. I like, Lord, why am I always thinking about this? Why am I always thinking, oh, I want a boyfriend? Like, oh, I want to get married. Like, I want to meet the one. And I remember God's answer to me was, pray for him. And I was like, God, that can't be it. That cannot be your answer. I was not happy with it. I was like, there has to be more. I don't know. I think I expected God to say, oh, he's coming. I mean, obviously he is, but I thought like God would tell me you're thinking about him a lot because he's coming tomorrow. So I started something I call a husband journal, and this is based off a video that I watched where this man and this lady were telling us. I was here on YouTube. They were telling us about their relationship and their testimony, and she said she's been praying for her husband a lot before they even met, and she used to document the prayers and everything. building a foundation basically before they met, and God was in it, and and I was like, wow, I should also do that. So, and God told me to pray, and I started doing that. And then I actually have a poem. This is a poem I read yesterday. There's also like a Nasbook journal with letters and things like that. But yeah, then I started really thinking about how my evolution of the idea of love has been to me. When I thought love, and I'm gonna read from First Corinthians about love, right? It says, no, love is patient, love is kind, love does not envy or boast, it is not arrogant or rude, it does not insist on its own way, it is not irritable or resentful, it does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. As far as prophecies, they will pass away. As for tongues, they will cease. As for knowledge, it will pass away. So this is like love. And first, when I first read First Corinthians, I thought it was referring to like a relationship. Then I went on to discover that this is referring to God, and I later started seeing it in other people, like my family, my friends. They've shown me this kind of love, being patient with me, kind, merciful, graceful. So yes, my idea of love has evolved from just like a relationship and getting all that from mainly in a relationship, and now I've seen it in all areas of my life, that even though my parents failed me in some ways, in many ways, and I had a lot of hurt and trauma, but God's love showed up and it made up for all of that. And I think I have that in my poem. I think I should actually read you a poem that I wrote, which I will. So, what I mean by saying, God, I feel ready to love, I feel ready to be loved, I feel ready for love. I'm not saying I don't have love, I already have love in all areas of my life. And then I said I desired to have a God version of everything. I literally have that. In my career, I've seen God. I've almost made a mistake, but because I pray, because I am obedient to the Lord, He has just given me a God version of everything. And I'm ready for love. I'm ready to be loved. I'm ready for love. And what I mean by this is, I'm ready for the Lord to heal me, to prepare me, to water me, and to task me all in areas of love. And I mean like romantic love, to heal me from male trauma and anywhere from my father's absence. If I don't want to be taking all that in a relationship, I pray that the Lord is healing me in that. I pray that He prepares me as a wife, that of course in the marriage you will have challenges, you will have obstacles, that He prepares me to be someone who goes to prayer first and that doesn't just spiral, that He waters me, He makes me grow. The Holy Spirit helps me love my word, which, yes, I do love my word. I love my word, but I feel like I can always love it more. That's why I say He shall water me. I pray that He tasks me as well. Like He tasked me to start praying for my husband, and even though I didn't understand, I just started. And I'm so grateful to be able to be here. And I don't know, maybe I'm years from meeting my future husband, maybe I'm months, but there's just this peace. And even as I had that dream last night, I woke up with a sense of peace. And I started like, Lord, I started thinking like, if that happened in real life, what do I do? Is that like a green light to start pursuing this guy or whatnot? And it's like, no, you just need to relax. It's just a confirmation. The right man will pursue me in the right way, in the right time. And I'm ready. And that's what I'm saying to God, that Lord, I am ready. And it's just the topic of relationships and love was so taboo in my growing up, because it was like, why are you so desperate to be loved? Why are you so desperate for attention or this or that? But I'm not. I'm just ready to experience a good thing, and I don't need to go and chase it. But this is what I'm saying to Lord now. Lord, I'm open. I'm ready. And like I said again, heal me, prepare me, water me, task me. I'm ready for love. And now, as promised, I'm gonna read you my poem. So it goes, Chambers of my heart, one so beautiful, luxurious, invaded and destroyed, one so peaceful, safe, gated and expectorated, one so lively, full of love, gated and anxious, one so gated and full of angst, now so full of love, joy, and hope, one so gated and expectorated, now so liberated and gay, once invaded and destroyed, now protected and restored, chambers of my heart, like Jerusalem's walls, Christ reconstituted, chambers of my heart, await you to dwell and fill its rooms. So, yeah, this is a poem for love to say, I am ready for love, I'm ready for love to fill the rooms of my heart. The Lord has restored, He's restored every single thing, and he's continually restoring. If I haven't healed from everything in my heart, but I'm not gated anymore, I'm not anxious, I'm not fearful, I'm not suspicious of people's intents. I'm just ready for love, and I will love with no boundaries because the Lord loves me unconditionally. I think I wrote this down. Yeah, I've experienced safe, unconditional, and liberating love, and I'm just ready to love, even platonically, even with family, even loving strangers, disciples, in all ways. I'm ready. Thank you for watching my video if you have, and yeah, just be open to love.